Good day, sir. We're the Group 1, and today we're gonna talk about the Ayala Maritime Voyage System. And my group mates are me, Deck Cadet Cello Emmanuel Abelgas, Deck Cadet Abeliana Andre, and lastly, Deck Cadet Agasa Jezreel Dave. So next, please. So our topic is all about the introduction and description about 1.1 general information to 1.10 shapes. So next, please. So before we're gonna start, we must know what is our learning outcomes of this topic. So first, we must determine the five basic shapes used in the Ayala voyage system and determine the five types of marks that is provided by the Ayala voyage system. And lastly, we must have a knowledge, general information of the Ayala voyage system. So next. So, and the importance of this topic, we must, and this lesson is for the students to have a refresher guide about the Ayala voyage system. Next. So now, in Ayala Maritime Voyage System, what is Ayala Maritime Voyage System? This is a responsible for ensuring navigation aids are recognized globally and reliable in all conditions. As you can see this picture, these are the examples of the voyages. Next, please. So the Ayala was developed in a certain country in 1889 to agree to the mark the port hand side of channels with a black can buoys and the starboard hand with a red conical buoys. Unfortunately, when lights for buoys were introduced in European countries, placed red lights on the black port hand buoys to comport with the red lights marking the port hand side of harbor entrances. In the North America, red lights were placed on the red starboard hand buoys. So next, please. So in 1936, a system was drawn under the League of Nations at Geneva, which established a lateral system with a principle being that this is the example of the red buoys in the left picture, and the right picture is the example of black boys. So next, please. So the several countries were not signatories to the convention and continued to develop their own original and opposite system. And after the World War II in 1939 to 45, the voyage system were re-established in Northwest Europe based on the system devised by the 1936 Geneva Convention. And after that, in 1971, merchant ship Badenburg struck the wreckage of the Texaco Caribbean and sank, even though the wreckage was appropriately marked on Dover Strait. Next, please. And in the 1973, Ayala brought together representatives from the Aids to Navigation Service in order to exchange information and recommended improvements to aids to navigation in a further attempts to find a single worldwide system of voyage. As you can see the picture, there's a lot of example of the boy boys. So next, please. And the Ayala decided with the use of two alternative systems was practicable by dividing the world into two regions. In the region A is if we're in the region A is in the Atlantic Ocean, Africa, Europe, Asia, Middle East, Australia, and port of the Pacific Ocean. If we're in that region, the port is the port left is red and the starboard right is green. And if we're in the region B, which is North and South America, the port left is green and the starboard right is red. And next will be discussed by Andre Abellana.
Thank you, Decadent Vegas. Now, for the implementation of the Ayala voyage system, in Dover Strait in 1971, the merchant ship Brandenburg struck the wreckage of the Texaco Caribbean and sank, even though the wreckage was appropriately marked. In this image, we can see the merchant ship Brandenburg, which struck the Texaco Caribbean and sank. 6 later, a vessel named Nikki also struck the wreckage and sunk even though the wreckage was marked by many buoys. Next, please. Next incident. This incident gave rise to the development and implementation of the Ayala Maritime Voyage System. In this image, we can see the Dover Strait. In this X spot is where the vessel, the merchant ship Brandenburg, sunk. Next, please. In 1980, a conference convened with the assistance of the Intergovernmental Maritime Consultative Organization, or is now known as the IMO, and the International Hydrographic Organization, or IHO. The lighthouse authorities from 50 countries and representatives of 9 international organizations concerned with the aids to navigation agreed to adopt the rules of the new combined system. Next, please. And in the alteration to charts, with the replacement of an existing voyage system by the Ayala system, involved extensive changes, careful preparations, and announcements were made so charts affected were available during the period of change. Before the Ayala system was even put into place, there was already a system for each country. Now changing the system for each country to conform to the Ayala system so that the world has one singular system. So to further the safety of voyages. However, even with the Ayala system have been completed, there are still some places where the voyage does not conform to that system, and others have yet to announce plans to conform to the Ayala system. Next, please. Progress towards completion of the change to Ayala system is likely to be gradual and notice of changes is likely to be short. When a system of voyage is changed, correction enabling charts to be up to date will be promulgated by the most appropriate means, meaning it will be either by notices to mariners or by issuing new editions of affected charts. This is an example of the notice to mariners, and the other one is also a notice for mariners, but the difference is this, and the left side is a weekly notice to mariners, and the right side is the annual summary of notices to mariners. Next, please. Now, the description of the system for the Ayala voyage system. The scope of the Ayala voyage system. This system applies to all fixed and floating marks other than lighthouses, sector lights, leading lights and marks, land bees, certain large light floats, and light vessels. It serves to indicate that sides and center lines of navigable channels under fixed bridges, natural dangers and other obstructions such as dangerous wrecks, areas in which navigation may be subject to regulation, and other features of importance to the mariner. Next, please. Chart symbols and abbreviations. To meet the needs of the Ayala voyage system, new symbols and abbreviations and altered ones are being incorporated in Admiralty charts when they are corrected or reprinted to use with the system. They are given in charts 5011. This is an example of the chart 5011. As you can see, it is titled Symbols and Abbreviations Used on Admiralty Paper Charts. Next, please. This is an example of the symbols and abbreviation used on Admiralty charts. This is for region B. As you can see, there are symbols and abbreviations on the paper chart. Next will be reported by Decadet Agasa Jisrael Dave.
So thank you, the cadet Andrea Biliana. So let's move on. Marks. So just like the learning outcome, there are five types of marks. So these are the lateral, cardinal, isolated, danger, safe water, and special marks. So first, what is a lateral marks? So the lateral marks help indicate which side of the waterway is to be followed. So also indicate the edge of the passage. So as we can see here, picture of the lateral marks. We have region A and region B. Next, cardinal marks. So what is a cardinal marks? Cardinal marks are used in conjunction with the compass to indicate where the mariner may find the best navigable water. They take their name from the quadrant in which they are placed. So just like a compass, the cardinal marks are used to find the best navigable water. So just like the compass here, we have north, west, south, and east. These quadrants have marks, so it is used to find the best navigable water. Next is isolated danger marks. So, as the name suggests, these buoys are used to mark dangers to shipping. They highlight and bring to the attentions of mariners any hazards or dangers to safe navigation. So, this marks, just like its name, it's isolate danger. So, it highlights a danger zone or a danger area for, to be able for the mariners to have a safe navigation in the waters. The next is safe watermarks. So unlike other marks that use horizontal stripes, this is the only mark to use vertical stripes. So safe watermarks use vertical instead of horizontal, unlike the others. Safe watermarks does not point to any danger but specifies that safe navigable water is all around the mark. Unlike the other marks, safe watermarks does not specify danger or does not mark danger. Safe water marks is a mark that is safe, that is a safe navigable water. Next is special marks. Special marks are used to denote mariners areas with special features. They point out areas of certain risk to mariners. For example, military exercise areas, recreational zones, boundaries of anchorage areas. So these three examples are are called special areas or special zones. So the special areas is marks by special marks. Next is on Admiralty chart, the shading of buoy symbols formerly used to indicate the colors of buoys are limited. A black filled in symbol is used for predominantly green marks and for all spar buoys and beacons. An open symbol is used for all buoys and beacon towers of other colors, but with the vertical lines to indicate striped safe water buoys. Next is the abbreviated descriptions of the colors of a buoy is given under the symbol. So when a buoy is colored in horizontal bands, the colors are indicated in sequence from the top. So the sequence of the bands is not known, or if the buoy is striped vertically, the colors are indicated with the darker color first. So next, shapes. So just like the marks, we have five basic shapes. Five basic shapes were defined when the system was devised. So it is can, conical, spherical, pillar, and spar. So can, conical, and spherical indicate by their shape the correct side to pass. So in the picture we have here a can shape, a conical shape, spherical shape. So next, marks do not rely on their shape for identification. Carry the appropriate top mark whenever possible. For example, single yellow cross, X-shaped. So there are references. And That would be all for our report. Thank you for listening. On behalf of my group mates, I am Cadet Agasa and saying have a good day and have a good life. Thank you and good morning.